Ani, bonjour, Cheyenne Indigenous Cause. Hello everyone, my name's Cheyenne, and today we're going to be making a dream catcher. These are all the things necessary you'll be needing to do this craft. So just to begin, we're going to start wrapping our ring, and you just want to wrap it around a few times, and then you can throw some glue in there to secure it to make sure the leather it won't be going anywhere. Then just hold it for a bit to make sure the glue is all dry and it's ready to go, and then you can start wrapping the whole ring around with the leather. If you feel like the leather isn't secure and staying that well, you can just take a little more glue and put some more on there to make sure it stays. Now at this point, you're going to have your two ribbons. Try and make it nice and tight. And all I do at this point is I create a knot with my two ends that are left, these two. So we're just going to tie it into a knot just to make sure everything's nice and secure. Just as so. Now you can take your scissors and cut it off. You will be needing the leather for later, so just put it aside. So now you're just going to need your sinew, and you can take your sinew and tie another knot. I like to tie the knot where I tied the previous knot with the leather, just so it's a little more hidden. So just like so, there'll be a little end coming out, but we'll worry about that later. Okay, so now for the weaving part of your dream catcher, all you're going to do is put 2 fingers in, wrap your sinew around the ring, and then pull it through the ring past your fingers into the hole. And it's going to tighten up real tight like that. And you're just going to repeat the same process, 2 fingers going over So there's the loop, and you bring your sinew through the loop, just like that. So it's making a tiny little knot on its own, and that's what it will look like. It will look a little funky in the beginning, but you'll see it come together at the end, or our second row, sorry. Our second row, you'll see it come more together. And if you notice, some of them, like this one's much wider than these two, you can just pull it and bring it back a bit. There we go. So 2 fingers, and then putting it through the hole on the other side. So again, another 2 fingers, and then through the hole on the other side. And pulling your sinew through. Two fingers, then pulling your sinew through on the other side. And just the last one. Starting new rows are a little more confusing for our new Dreamcatcher makers. All you have to do is go through the first place that you started. So we're going through this hole now, and we're doing the same technique. So we're going to put our sinew through that hole, and then it's going to, here, let me show you at the end. So we're going through this hole and coming back through, making sure your sinew lays like this. So you want it over the loop, not under, because that's how it creates that little knot. So it should look like this. Your sinew should be over your new row. And then you're just doing the exact same thing on all the other ones. So going through, coming back through this big loop here, making sure my sinew is on the right side, and just giving it a pull. Just to make sure that your Dreamcatcher stays nice and tight the whole time, you just want to keep pulling it as you go. So through and back out, making sure we're in the circle. And back through. So it's just repeating the same process over and over again. We're just going through and coming back, making sure there's a little loop. Just like so. Your sinew will keep getting caught on things because it is much longer. Okay, so like I said, it gets confusing at this point. You go through where you started. So we started over here, so we're just going to go through here. So we're leaving a hole in our dream catcher because that's in the teaching, your dreams go through the hole. So that's why there needs to be a hole. And now we're just going to create our knot. So as you can see, that's where my dream catcher is left off. And I'm just going to go through it as there's it on the other side. So we're just going to go through. And there will be a little circle or loop that you want to leave. And then you're gonna try and hold that because you're gonna bring it back through on the other side, your sinew. The long piece, no, we want that loop. Okay, so we'll just do it again. If that keeps happening, no worries. I'm gonna try sticking my finger through it this time. Okay. Here we go. So there's my little loop, and I created that by just going through once and holding it. So there's a loop, and we're just going to run our sinew through this loop a few times. So I've gone through my loop 3 times, and then I'm going to pull nice and nice and nice and tight. And it will be ready to be cut and burnt now. Here now too. Great. So I'm going to put my 2 pieces through, and there'll be a loop. We're just going to go through the loop as so it does that. So, and then there's 2 hangy pieces. Okay, so now that we're at this point, we can put our beads at the end. And putting a little bit of glue at the end of our beads. And shoving a few of our feathers, Miigwon, our feathers, into the beads. Okay, that's as much as wants to go in there. A little bit of glue here. And our feathers. And that's what your dream catcher will look like. And last but not least, all you're going to do is knot the top so you can hang it. And there you go.